And that is truly it. Now for the beard. What is up? Welcome to Cutting Up. I am your host Mac, and you see the title of this video. Let's get straight into today's shave. Now this is truly just a maintenance shave. This is still fairly clean. Yes, it has a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow built in there. Some people will rock the neck beard or like the grown in here, and it doesn't look bad. I don't like it just because when the hair starts to grow in, I get that itching. So I'm not a fan of it. Now already, I will tell you, the shaving cream has lost the warmth, but that's okay, it's not ice cold. Now I'm sure you could do this with pretty much anything that you could kind of get a cutout area on your neck. If you don't have a tool like this, but this is what the benefit of having this tool is. I'm not nicking any longer hairs there, like especially if I have to go upward towards it. This is where this comes in crucial. Pull the skin tight. Now for the head, maybe this is overkill, but I find this to be necessary on the neck to get a smooth shave. When I first got this one, the light on it I thought was a little gimmicky, but what I do find with that is the way the light works on this is it'll be blue, and that means that there's no pressure at all. If you're applying the right amount of pressure, it'll be green, and too much pressure will go into this amber color. I found it to be gimmicky, but what I did find that if I stay in the green is I know that I'm applying the right amount of pressure, or the exact same amount of pressure, and not pressing harder in other areas. That's good practice for the hands and muscle memory, especially when you go into sensitive areas like over the Adam's apple. You definitely don't want to be pushing down onto your trachea too hard and cause any kind of irritation. What started off gimmicky ended up being actually very useful. Now last is going to be the line work. Like I was saying to you guys earlier, one of the benefits to this is I get a smoother shave. But one of the disadvantages that I've found to using shaving cream in this particular area is the lather is almost too thick. It's too perfect, and it makes it difficult for me to see where my line work is, especially if I want to raise it up. Like say if I said that my lines were too far down and I wanted to bring it up, I would want to start where the new growth is and grow in a line there. With shaving cream, I find I kind of have to end up defeating the purpose and kind of spraying it back down a bit just so I can see through it, and that's where conditioner seems to work better in this particular application for me. And I do have this for that swoop. But for years I've been doing this without that, and I've just kind of gotten used to being able to do it freehand. Pick an anatomical spot. In this part, I'm using the top part of this ear, of my ear here. I'll come down to the mustache. And essentially that should make a straight line for me. Like I said, one of the benefits to using a mirror like this is instead of looking through my peripheral vision like this, looking into the mirror this way, when I'm actually turning my head this way, I'm looking at the side mirror, so I'm looking at it still straight on. It does take in some getting used to because it feels different, and sometimes the directions will be different from the direction that you're looking in the mirror at, but you get to see your line work much cleaner when you're looking at it straight on. So that's the benefit of this type of mirror. So just to show you, if you want to try to copy my technique, I pick this part of my nose here. I'm starting from the opposite side, so if I'm shaving on, in my case, the left side of my face, I use the right nostril to be where I start my straight line, or bring it down. Now obviously you're going to have to take into consideration how thick you want your mustache and also the shape that you want to achieve. Around the one, you're gonna have to do a little bit more work, and obviously if you don't want it come down as line thin as I do mine, you're gonna pick different places to measure from, make that line work. Play with different places, but if you pick places on your face that you can line up from, whether it's the width of your nose, from the nostril, entering of the nares, whatever it is, if you pick that, you will always have a reference point that you will travel with, rather than a measurement on like a ruler or something that if you don't have, you're kind of stuck. Nick myself right there. I'm immediately going to stop, make sure I don't go back into that area. Another thing that works really well to stop in any kind of cut that you get while shaving is if you can find something kind of like a petroleum jelly, like a Vaseline or something, and just knob it on that area. It's actually a trick that fighters use in between rounds. And this, folks, is why I don't pretend to be any kind of expert. It happens. You get nicks. It happens. Now another thing with a maintenance shave is areas that I usually would go back and clean up, like hair, periodically I try to give a break. I'll either let the hair grow all the way out and make that thing there where between every other shave is when I'll do that. What I find when I shave those areas, like every 3 days almost, what I find is I start to irritate the skin if I don't allow it a break. While I'm referred to this as like a maintenance shave, this might not always get a full shave every 3 days. Just other than laziness, why I let the hair grow out, I find that I not only get a smoother shave, not only do I get less razor bumps, I get less irritation on the skin not shaving that frequently. Now one mistake I did make in this shave in particular is always go dry to wet. So if you did need to go in with trimmers, say your hair was way too long to just go with a razor and you wanted to use clippers first and bring it down to a buzz and then shave it, do that first, because obviously this is not intended in any which way, shape or form to get wet. So I really should have done the line work on my lip area first and then went in and shaved. But in this case, I'm just gonna make sure that this area is dry, and then we'll go in that area. This is where you do the imitation of all those duck lip girls on IG. If you are doing this, what I'm doing is I'm not putting it flat on the skin. I'm doing this as I bring it down. It does take a little bit of work, but what that prevents you from doing is putting a cut in up here while you really mean to just be trimming there. I do some kind of aftershave, whether it's a purposeful aftershave or it's some kind of beard balm or anything like that. You'll see a lot of techniques, even some really weird ones. They do this, they rub it in. There's no science that I found, but again, this is one last time to really check the areas and make sure that I haven't any spots that I need to clean up or any spots that still feel dry. And that's pretty much it. This is the finished product. Now, I do see a little bit of shaving cream in here, so I will go in and actually wash my face. But you can get the basic idea of how the hair is going to look. We kind of skipped the facial wash just because I'm pretty confident you guys know how to wash your face. And if you don't, there are other videos that can teach you how to wash your face and maintain that. But obviously you want to make sure that you have that clean and dry, and then style the beard as you see fit. Now, some people find that water is drying, so they don't use water like how I will wet my beard. They also don't use water-based products. That's going to be, I find, that's going to be subjective, and it's going to be down to the individual's experience. You'll never be able to rub each hair individually, but that's what you're basically trying to kind of mimic and almost get to. So you'll see me lazily do this and rub it in, but the best technique is to actually pull at the strands and get a few strands in and kind of massage it into the beard that way. And then whether you use a comb or a pick, and there's my finished product. Now, is it barber perfect? Maybe not. But is it good enough to definitely go out and feel confident in how I look? I feel so. And that's all that counts. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, feel more than free to comment them below. And if you have any suggestions on maybe something that can make a shave easier that you have implemented in your own shave, or some kind of method or routine that you want me to take a look at for future videos, absolutely, go ahead and comment and get in contact with me. Until the next time we're cutting up, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video. And that is truly it.